I got my license recently, and it brought a few thoughts which I'm going to share now. First of all, I always told myself that I'm not interested in driving and I'm never going to drive, and anyways, it's so dangerous. And on the first lesson, I realized that actually I really like driving. It's so enjoyable. The brain is so interesting. Um, Sometimes we tell things to ourselves and it could be really limiting beliefs. The second thing is that when I decided to drive, I started to inquire about the process and how long it would take, and people made me understand that it maybe wasn't too realistic to expect to know how to really drive by myself on the freeway and everywhere within a few weeks. And thanks to Hashem, between the permit until the license, it took less than a month. It took, I don't know if it was like 3 or 4 weeks altogether, thanks to Hashem. So it really reminds me the sentence of En davar haomed bifnei haratzon. Nothing stands in front of a will as long as it's Hashem's will. Another thought is that there is something very interesting here in California. When you drive and you come at an intersection, if you have a red light in front of you and you want to make a right turn, you can still do it. You just have to be careful to pay attention. So I found it very symbolic, because in life, if you want to make a right turn, something which is positive and good, even if you have a red light in front of yourself, you can still do it. As long as you're careful, you'll still be safe and being able to advance if it's a right turn. Another thing is that in the very beginning, I was under the impression that in order to drive safely, I was really needing to really see very clearly in front of me. So sometimes I would even clean the windshield and the side mirrors to make sure that it's there is no trace of anything, and I can really drive very well with it. Until I drove in this very heavy rain, and then I realized I'm able to drive even if there are all types of things in front of me, rain, leaves, etc. So obviously we try to create the best conditions for ourselves in life, but sometimes I feel like we tell ourselves that we need certain things in order to be able to advance and to succeed, and then Hashem throws the situation to us and we realize that we could make it. And since then, I don't clean anymore the windshield nor the mirrors, because I realize that I'm just able to drive, even if there are things in front of me which may be making things a little bit less clear. Another thing is that I still remember going on the freeway for the first time and the teacher saying to me, stick to your lane, like don't go too much to the right or to the left, be very careful to stick to your lane. And I think in life there are so many agendas and so many ideas going around, and so many people wanting to push their own beliefs or their own thoughts onto others, and energies and vibrations, and you just have to stick to your lane. Know who you are, know where you're going, what your desire is, and what you're doing, and just stick to your lane. Don't go too much to the right nor to the left, and drive to your destination. Another thing is that when we drive on the freeway and we drive quickly and you have turns, I realized that when I press on one of the pedals, sometimes I accelerate a bit or sometimes I slow down a bit, but I really feel in control of the vehicle. But if I'm at the right speed and I'm not pressing on any pedals, this is really where sometimes it may feel a little bit less as if I'm in control of the car. So I think when we take turns in life, it doesn't really matter, just do something, press on one pedal or the other. Obviously try to choose something which matches the correct speed, but really make sure that you're doing something, and then you really feel in control, and it helps you to really advance to your destination. Another thing is that I realized that even if I take every day the same itinerary, it's always a different experience according to the people which are on the road, according to the way I feel, to the weather. It's always something different. There are so many elements which come together into interference, and really every moment is unique. A moment never comes back. So it makes me think how much we just have to make sure that we're very present in every single situation, and to really live fully in the present moment, to enjoy life and to make the most out of every single instant that we are blessed to live here. Another thought is that once I was driving on a road which I did not know back then, and it was a hill that goes down, and the sun was really shining very, very strongly. It was like the end of the afternoon, and it was blinding me so much. Even though I had sunglasses, it was very difficult to see the signs, to see the lanes. And I realized that the other cars, they're doing well. They probably knew the way. So first of all, even something like the sun, like light, it can still blind you. But if you know the way, you're fine. Since then, I went back to the same road. Now I know the way, and it doesn't matter if there is sun or rain or whatever there is. When you know the way, you're fine, you're good. Another thought is that I was driving once in a very, very heavy rain, and I could really barely see what was happening around me, just maybe a few meters in front of myself. And I told myself, it's okay, one thing at a time. And sometimes in life, you have those situations where you don't have the capacity to really monitor and see as much as you would want to see. But it's okay, one thing at a time, and you'll get there. Another thought is, I remember it was actually in the beginning when I was driving by myself on the freeway, and I found myself on this hill with these huge trucks and those cars which are just speeding as if it's not a hill. And I asked myself, what situation did I put myself in? It was just so dangerous. And then I reminded myself, Hashem is in charge. Whatever He decided will happen, whether you're in a car, whether you're on the freeway, whether you're somewhere else. Whatever has to happen will happen. And immediately it was an occasion to reinforce my emunah, my belief, my faith in Hashem. And I was immediately completely relaxed and able to continue to drive as if I'm by myself on the road. And I feel like of course, we have to be careful not to create to ourselves unnecessary dangers or situations or challenges. However, Hashem is in charge, and what has to happen will happen wherever you are, no matter what you try to do, because He is in control. So I wish to ourselves to really enjoy the way, because whether it's raining, whether it's sunny, it's always magical. It's always a unique opportunity to make the most out of it, and that we all drive very safely, and most important, that we arrive to our destination with joy and happiness, and sometimes the way is also the destination.